you've been with Zeke, obviously before, but now up close and personal. What have you learned about him, being in the room with him?
He's a great leader, great mentor for the young guys, great sounding board for me. It's been phenomenal having him in the meeting space, and like I said, we got a full room, a very competitive room, but he does a great job, through his personality of keeping it loose, and in addition to that, providing his expertise that he has based off the experience that he's had over 9 years now. So he's been a great addition for the room.
He's talked about how you guys are limiting his reps, make sure he's going to be fresh.
Yep.
Is there like an actual snap count that you keep on him, or is it just by a feel?
It's more of a feel thing, and obviously we're communicating on a regular basis there. But that is the objective, obviously, with the 17 games and, the length of the season and the grind of training camp. Obviously, I think he's had 2,500 touches over the course of his career, so he's been, he's taken his share of hits. He doesn't need any unneeded hits there, so we've been smart about that piece of it. But I think it is going to be a feel thing as we go through the whole process.
If he says, hey, I want to get a couple more today?
Yeah. We're revving him up. Yep.
Coach, we just talked with Rico, and we asked him about, doing this running back by committee and how he feels like it's going to work. He said, well, we don't know yet, but we have faith in the coaching staff that it will. How do you manage kind of the expectations player by player when you're doing a running back by committee?
The way I kind of foresee, I see it being a little different, by week, based off the opponent, based off of what we're doing from a personnel standpoint, based off of how they're feeling, based off the special team contributions. I think there's a number of factors that are going to go into it. But the way we've been practicing, we're kind of putting the guys in situations where they're not so much in the team period, but in these walkthrough settings, putting them in there for 4 or 5 consecutive plays, and then the next guy goes in and kind of takes over. So I think the running back by committee, I feel like everybody across the league kind of operates that way. We're making probably a little bit too big of a deal of it, but we'll see how it plays out as the season goes on.
Rico last year got a lot of runs.
Yep.
How is he built to handle more? And he obviously battled injuries.
Yep.
Is that still in the back of the mind a little bit?
No, for me, it's not. He's playing it or has practiced at an extremely high level. I think he's taken his game to another level. He's confident. He's dialed in systematically to what we're doing. I mean, he's all over the mental part of it. He's had a very, very good training camp up to this point. Very pleased with Rico. He's in a good spot.
How has he grown out of the backfield as a pass catcher?
Yeah, he's always had the ability to catch the football. Obviously, we've given him some few more opportunities in this camp. But yeah, he's always had that skill set, and we're looking to continue to enhance it.
How would you describe his running style?
Just his play style overall. I mean, he plays the game the way that you want it being played at all positions. I mean, he just plays the game fast. He plays with toughness. He plays with urgency. That's probably the biggest thing. It's just his play styles, which you're looking for really any position overall.
How do you, as the running backs coach, handle a joint practice like what you're doing tomorrow with the Rams and the contact? You talked about Zeke wanting to stay fresh. How do you manage a rotation when there's contact and it's another team's defense? They might be going a little harder. Maybe
No, we can't play to their tempo. I mean, we got to set the standard there. I anticipate him getting a good bit of work tomorrow in addition to Rico, and then obviously Sunday we're playing a game, and those guys, we want to get those younger guys in there, get those guys revved up. But it should be a good opportunity, and you get tired of playing against your defense every day, especially Zimmer, because he's throwing every blessed look known to mankind at us. It's been a challenge, but it's been great work for us. It should be fun. It should be a lot of fun.
I don't know if you've been asked this, but Freeman, how good is it to see him? You got a veteran guy, he's progressing so well.
Yeah, I think I just told somebody, in the free agency process, as we were watching the tape, we saw a lot of things in his skill set that fit well to our scheme, and we've seen that up to this point in training camp. And he's obviously a bigger body, probably more similar to Rico and Zeke in that regard, but he's done a nice job up to this point.
Because he's been around a little bit, it's a little easier to say, hey, we need you to do this, and he knows what to do.
He's been in different systems, and the language is really the biggest thing. We have a lot of verbiage in our system, particularly in the protection department. So just hearing the terms and kind of associating that to things that he's experienced in the past, it's been helpful definitely for him.
How difficult is it for Deuce? He's a running back, and now you got him working with the receivers a little bit. How hard is it for him?
The positive is mentally he's nails. He's all over it. He's in terms of the system, so he's able to handle that piece of it. The skill set is there. Just obviously the frustration there with him going down as early as he did. We just got to get him back sooner than rather than later, and let him hit it and get it. You know.
How much in the offseason, because we talked about you need a running back, then the draft comes, you didn't get one,
Yep.
and then you bring Zeke back. How would you describe the offseason for you in terms of let's find a running back? You know?
Yeah, it was
you had young guys on the roster already.
Yeah,
you know?
It was an interesting piece, but that's kind of how this business goes. You got to be ready to adjust and adapt to different circumstances, and you can't really necessarily always put your eggs into one basket. You got to be ready to, you know, be on your toes and adjust. And obviously, there's a lot of familiarity with Zeke in the system, and Rico and Malik, and guys who've been in the system are familiar with the verbiage. And you know, I feel very confident where we're at as a group right now.
Cool. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Coach.
Good.
Appreciate it.